This new weather pattern that we're about to enter into is going to be downright weird, promoting the chances for above average temperatures for a large chunk of the United States, the possibility of severe weather, and more snow up in the northern United States. I'll have more information on that in just a few minutes. But first, let's go into the 500 millibar maps and see what it's saying. Alright, take a look at the 500 millibar maps as we always do. Timestamps are on the top left hand corner. Taking a look at the current maps, we have a high pressure system reigning over the southern portions of California, New Mexico, Arizona, and over in western portions of Mexico. This is going to be preventing 500 millibar flow, adequate 500 millibar flow to enter in the United States as a trough and not create any weather systems for the next couple of days. But that is going to change with this high pressure system slowly dissipating. It starts to move inland a little bit more, and we're progressing this onto Monday. As you can tell, strengthening jet stream starts to enter in the central portions of California with around 85 to 90 knots of the jet stream. That's a pretty strong jet stream. And this is going to be our potentially next storm system. Look at this. By around Tuesday into Wednesday, you could start to see a low pressure system over California and Nevada. This is going to progressively move eastward. There's also a low pressure system moving down from Canada. And if this interacts with this jet stream, we could have the possibility of some severe weather. This is still very far out. This is still on the 8th of November. Still very far out, 7 days out, 7 to 8 days out. Still a lot of uncertainties. We still cannot really forecast this good out. But just giving you a early heads up, low pressure system could dip down, interact with this strengthening jet stream, and as the jet stream moves over the Rocky Mountains, it could eject, and this could promote some severe weather over in the Ohio Valley, lower Mississippi Valley, or over in the Greater Plains. We'll just have to see. Jet stream starts really strengthening over the mid-Hoosier Valley and the upper portions of the Ohio Valley on Thursday. We'll take a look at the 850 millibar map in just a few minutes. But yeah, and then this starts to exit out of our hair on Friday and the end of next upcoming week. And then we start to go back into a more quiet weather pattern phase. Alright, so taking a look at the 850 millibar winds, this is wind shear. Alright, well, let's go ahead and progress it out to Saturday into Tuesday of next week. Look at this, strengthening low-level jet over portions of the northern United States and Midwest. This is probably going to be this is a low pressure system, strengthening low-level jet over the eastern portions of the United States. I don't really see any severe weather out of this. We're more focused on the storm system that's coming through on Wednesday and Thursday over in the Ohio Valley. Look at this, low pressure system moving down from Canada, centered over Minnesota and Wisconsin. This is obviously going to progressively move down southward, and if it interacts with that jet stream again, we could be a little bit of a cause for concern. Strengthening low-level jet over the Midwest, around 40 to 45 knots. That's a decent low-level jet, more than adequate for some rotating storms. But overall, the low-level jet does not really look that impressive for organized storm systems, especially organized rotating storms. For that, that tornado threat. Again, we are entering in our second tornado season, so we have to be a little bit aware. So right now, low-level jet does not look that impressive for this upcoming storm system that may or may not happen. Well, I'll be keeping an eye on this. I'll be monitoring this. I'll let you guys know if there's any new developments. If the low-level jet somehow increases over the Midwest, then that could be an issue. But we'll just have to see. So right now, low-level jet does not look that impressive. 500 millibar looks, it's okay. So right now the cause for concern is kind of low. Let's go ahead and take a look at the dew points, the moisture, and see what it's saying. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the moisture. This is a critical component with forecasting severe weather. Currently, across the CONUS, the contingency of the United States, we are experiencing very, very low dew points. That's because it's been very cold out and drier air. But as we progress onto Tuesday into Wednesday, look at this. A huge moisture ejection from the Gulf of Mexico goes into the United States, bringing a lot of moisture into the lower Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley, and portions of the Central Plains. And as we progress this through the time into Thursday, look at this. It even gets even further up in the upper portions of the Ohio Valley, Central Plains, and Mississippi Valley. We'll be having to monitor this, but looks like moisture return from the Gulf of Mexico is going to be fairly decent, if not pretty strong for this time of year, especially in November across a good chunk of the lower 48. We'll be having to watch this for any severe weather, so it looks like moisture is not really a question in terms of severe weather, but we'll be having to watch this for any discrepancies, mild discrepancies within the next couple of days, but I'll keeping an eye on this and I'll be updating you guys. Alright, moving on from forecasting a severe weather event, and let's go ahead and talk about the temperatures. It has been very cold recently. I mean, very, very cold. We've had a huge cold front move through, but I hate to say it, that is not going to last. On Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, look at this. Large chunk of the western and west central United States is experiencing well above average temperatures. And this can basically be said for the rest of the United States. As we progress this into Sunday into Monday, large chunk of the United States is experiencing well above average temperatures. This is going to stay around for a bit until a cold front moves back through. And look at this. On Wednesday into Thursday, well above average temperatures for portions of Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, the Texas Panhandle. We'll be having to watch this, but again, large chunk of the United States, central United States, Midwest, Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley, experiencing well above average temperatures on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, look at this, cold front starts to move through with that associated low pressure system coming down from Canada. This is going to bring a cold front, knocking all that warm air down southward and southeast, and then cold is going to remain across a large chunk of the United States from Wednesday, Saturday, and it's going to stay around. So around on the 11th of November, cold air starts to usher back into the lower 48, and it looks like it's going to stay around for a good bit. All right, now take a look at the 7-day precipitation. Currently, a large chunk of the United States is experiencing drought, severe drought, especially over in Louisiana and over in the Gulf states. Basically, anywhere around here is experiencing, not really around there, pretty much everywhere around here is experiencing pretty decent drought. And unfortunately, through the next 7 days for precipitation, it does not look like it's going to get any better, with only a little, teeny weeny little bit of rainfall over in Louisiana, maybe around even an inch, especially over in, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, New Orleans. You guys have got to get some rainfall. Over here, over in Kentucky, St. Louis, Memphis, we aren't faring much better over here. Central portions of Indiana, you guys could get around maybe an inch or two. But if you live over in the western states, over in Oregon or Washington, you guys are going to be experiencing around like 5 inches from these atmospheric rivers. Well above average precipitation. But basically anywhere, a good chunk of the lower 48 is experiencing not that much rainfall recently, especially over in the Gulf states, central portions of the Ohio Valley, lower Mississippi Valley, and the Central Plains. We need rainfall desperately, and it looks like relief is not coming anytime soon, unfortunately. And last but not least, taking a look at the Climate Prediction Center's 6 through 10 day temperature probability outlook. Large chunk of the United States is going to be experiencing well above average temperatures, especially over in the Gulf states, over in Florida. The 8 through 14 day temperatures, large chunk of the United States, a massive chunk of the lower 48 is going to be experiencing well above average temperatures, especially over in the upper portions of the northern states. While if you live over in the upper portions of the eastern states, you guys are going to be experiencing well below average precipitation. The next 6 through 10 days on precipitation, looks like the lower 48, especially over in the Gulf states, mid-Mississippi and Ohio Valley, southern plains, central plains are going to be experiencing above average precipitation, especially over in southern portions of Texas. While if you live over in New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, all throughout there, and over in the northern plains and greater high plains, well below average precipitation, and obviously well above average precipitation for the western states. Now, if you live over in the northern United States, You guys are going to be experiencing well below average precipitation, while as over in the Gulf states and a good portion of the lower 48 is going to be experiencing well above average precipitation through the next 8 through 14 days. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm Ryan Otten, and this has been your weather forecast.